And a very good afternoon to Queenstown, and we have a wonderful clash waiting for us. We've got Queen's College against Dale College. I'm just quickly doing the introduction for you while the real commentators step in. So if you give me 1 second, we've got Shane Brodie, who's going to be commentating today, and with him we've got Keegan Goebel representing Dale College, and Shane will be repping Queen's College. And wonderful weather conditions. We've had about 28 degrees today. There's not a breath of wind. The gents to my right will then give you a bit more information on local knowledge and also what's happening. We've crossed over a little bit earlier than normal. It's Founders Weekend here for Queen's College, and I know there's a big turnout of the 2007 year, being their 10 year. But Shane will be able to shed some light. Good morning, Jay, or good afternoon, gents.
Good afternoon, folks. Lovely day here in Queenstown. It's our 159th reunion. So you can expect a big crowd like you see here this afternoon. And I think you can expect a fantastic game of rugby. You know, it's going to be, the weather's great, not much wind. So we'll see how we go this afternoon. I think you're going to see a fantastic match.
Good afternoon to everyone joining us today. Yes, Shane, the festivities have been incredibly great building up to this moment. Two fantastic colleges with not only within our local arenas but throughout the country. Both geared for a hard but passionate game of rugby coming up. All the festivities building up to this moment. Old boys are excited, boys are excited, players are excited, parents are off their chairs, and I think the turnout today is a true testament to how special this game is going to be this afternoon.
Keegan, yes, I think it's going to be a test of walls here this afternoon. You know, both Dale and Queens have just come back from the Kearsney Rugby Festival. where Dale did well. Queens was a bit unlucky not to win a game there. They were very competitive though in the fixtures which they played. So as I say, it's going to be interesting to see what tactics the two sides are going to use. Are they going to rumble the ball up with the forwards, or are they going to use their fast wings, their backs? So it's going to be quite an interesting day. And as I say, what's nice is that the weather's good. There's an amazing vibe here at the moment. And I think you're going to see a class game of schoolboy rugby on the border, Keegan.
No, that's for sure. Just as we watch the pictures of the skydiver coming in on his parachute, always wonderful during the Queen's reunion, this tradition of the man landing on the first team rugby field. You don't see this happen too often anywhere, so it's a great honour and a privilege to every time we come and join Queens for their reunion that we get to see this amazing experience.
Yes, and I would just like to welcome Dale, as a Queen supporter. And we've had a very, very long history, and we've got a great heritage of sportsmanship between the two sides. They often speak about what they call the holy trinity of rugby, which is Queen, Selborne and Dale. And it's actually quite a fantastic occasion to have the Dale men here today. And here come the skydivers, folks. They're coming down onto the field. It's always a great occasion to see the skydivers come down. Keegan, the first sky's down, and I expect that there could be another skydiver. I'm not certain.
Awesome to see the young Queenians take the field. I'm sure many of them are aspiring to hopefully one day run on and represent the first team. The skydiver is down, obviously swamped by the young men. I think he'll start making his way off slowly, and we'll continue with the build up to this incredibly exciting first team game. Just to touch on what you said, two very evenly matched opponents. I think today is going to be definitely one in small moments. Coming back from the Kearsney Easter Rugby Festival, as you mentioned, all the games there obviously being incredibly competitive and hard fought. I think today is going to be nothing different. The fantastic rivalry that is had between these two schools, so much passion, so much pride, but then also so much respect on and off the field. As we see a number of the old boys make their way onto the field, that's obviously to either do the war cry, also just such a great tradition coming from the men coming back to their alma mater. Obviously so much pride, so much passion in the school that they love so much.
Keegan, yes, I met with a few of the old boys yesterday. They're old boys that have come in from Australia, from the United Kingdom. And I see it's quite a big crowd. I'd probably even guess that it's more old boys here than there were last year. It's the year of the sevens, so it was the 87 group, the 207 group. There's a lot of old boys. And I think they're expecting a great game. And just to come back to some of the players in both sides, the Queen side has got 3 Craven Week players from last year. I don't know. I know Apelele Fasi, the Dale captain, I think he is, Keegan. Fantastic player. He was also in the Craven Week side last year, and I think we can expect a big game from him. I actually watched him at the Kearsney Festival, and I tell you, he's a game maker of note, Keegan.
That he is Apelele Fasi, the captain of Dale College today. A fantastic playmaker, as you touched on. Apelele Fasi did represent the first team last year. He's also the first team cricket captain on another note. Great skills, marshals the game well. He'll be playing at fly half today, away from his preferred fullback, but definitely a man that likes to lead from the front. From a Queen's perspective, who do you think the viewers should keep their eye on today?
Well, Keegan, the Queen's captain is Aaron Brody. As I say, is a Craven Week player from last year. He normally leads from the front, amongst the forwards. I think it'll be quite a physical game. It goes back to, to consider what sort of game plan the sides are going to use. I don't know if it's going to be kept amongst the forwards by the Queenians or they're going to spread the ball wide. But, irrespective of what happens, I think it's going to be a very hard-fought game. And I personally think it's going to be a tight score. Someone actually asked me earlier, one of the Queen's old boys, which way do I think it'll go? And obviously, being a Queen supporter, I hope it'll go Queen's way. But I think it could go anyway. And, I think over the years, the camaraderie between the two sides, and that I don't think, if Queens has played their hardest and they don't win, then it's not the end, of everything.
Right, you are. I think today definitely going to be an incredibly physical encounter. The young men leaving it all on the field as they do every single time these two sides meet. We wouldn't expect anything different. We wouldn't want anything different. I think that's what makes this clash so exceptional, is that every single time these two sides run out against each other, not only is there incredible respect amongst the players, but the bonds of friendship are also forged on and off the field. Today, as you touched on earlier, the weather is absolutely fantastic. A slight breeze to cool things down, but other than that, beautiful sunshine here in the Eastern Cape, in the beautiful Queenstown. I think knowing these two sides, and especially from a Dale perspective, perfect running rugby weather.
Keegan, yes. The old boys are going to start the war cry now. You see if there's probably a few hundred old boys out there in the field. There's the inner circle, which are the 87 year, the 2007 year. And I think they're going to say a little prayer first. So let's maybe have just a minute of silence. There the guys go with the war cry. I think they're going to start the war cry now. Right, folks, I think we could have lost a bit of signal there for a short while, but the war cry is now over. And I think the crowds are going to make their way off the field. Probably within the next 10 minutes or so, the boys will be running on. I'm sure you'll hear the crowds.
What an amazing sight that was. Old boys of young and old on the field. So proud to be a part of this great school, a part of the history, as I'm sure every single young man, old man is to attend a fantastic college like Queen's College and Dale College. It's so much history behind everything that he's done here, and today is nothing different. As we see the old boys clearing the field, making their way to their seats on the stands, and shortly I feel that we're going to see the first teams of Dale College and Queen's College run out onto the hallowed rec ground for what's sure to be an absolutely fantastic and tantalizing affair.
Yes, Keegan, something that I picked up, that the fields are looking a lot greener than they would this time of the year. Queenstown went through a very severe drought. It seems they had nice rain, after December, and the recs, the recreation ground is really looking good. Often on our reunion games, the fields are very dry and they're hard. So as I say it, that's a very nice thing to see. Lovely green pitch. And I can hear the scholars and the crowds watching are starting to get the tempo building here. And I'm sure we'll hear some fantastic singing from both Dale and Queens.
The vibe is definitely going here today, ladies and gents. There's a tangible atmosphere in the air. I think everybody's really looking forward to this kicking off. I'm sure the young men in the change room are itching to to run out onto the field and get stuck into each other. The coaches have done all they can. I'm sure each and every single one of them has prepared the best that they can. Here, as we see the cheerleaders of both Dale College and Queen's College preparing to get their respective schools all G'd up, and as we await the two first teams running out of the change room.
There you go, the cheerleaders, and as I say, this is an age-old tradition at Queen's, and I'm sure also at Dale, and I'm sure at a lot of our other big traditional rugby schools. So it's quite a bit of fun, before the game, get the boys all into action, get their singing voices clear. So as I say, I think we'll hear some incredible singing here this afternoon, Keegan.
So right you are. What a wonderful tradition it is. The cheerleaders, the boys really do love getting behind their teams. I'm sure their voices will start building. The Queenians look like they're going to rock this stand off their feet. Really are getting excited here as we build up to the whistle and the first kickoff.
Yes, the tunnel for Queens has already been formed. A few of the second and third team players, I'm sure a lot of the other scholars will be on there. So as I say, I can just imagine the vibe, Keegan, at the moment in the change rooms for both Dale and Queens. In the old days, when you went into change rooms, I suppose it's the same now today, get that smell of deep heat. You can feel that vibe in there. You can almost feel that sense of wanting to get onto the field. So as I say, I think it's going to be a humdinger of a game. And as you said, probably quite a physical game. Something that I can say on the Queen side, they've got quite a heavy pack. At the Kearsney Festival, they were the second heaviest pack at the festival. Behind Glenwood, they've got a pack weight of about 805 kgs. Some big lads in there, quite a few of them weighing well over 100 kilos. It's something that you find more and more in the modern era. When I was at school in the 80s, the boys didn't seem this big and this, robust. So maybe it's just got to do with more of the modern diets and getting gyms going at schools and getting the training and the coaching up to a sort of a professional level. So it's going to be a great game. I suspect Dale's going to maybe, be a little bit more mobile than Queens. You don't know. But one thing I can say, Queens on the reunion day puts in 150% effort. I'm sure Dale will be expecting that. And I'm sure they'll have the strategies to counteract that.
As we just saw on our screens, the two captains, Aaron Brody for Queens and Apalele Fassi for Dale, bringing out their respective mascots, placing them alongside the field. A massive sign of respect. The tunnels being formed as we await the first teams coming out.
Keegan, yes, the thing of mascots is quite an interesting one. The tradition at Queens is that they change the mascot name every so many years. Over the years, they've been named after rugby coaches. So I think it was changed last in 2007. So, you'd probably find in a few years' time they change the mascot again, and actually the mascot itself. Something quite interesting about Queen's College, for those who don't know, is that we don't have a number 13 side in our team. And that goes back to the 50s when one of the Queen's players was killed in a motor car accident. And it was done as a sign of respect.
Wonderful sign of respect as the respective first team names come up of the starting lineup. Just from a Dale perspective, some names to watch out for today. Tandile Mapungwevu at number 8, a massive individual. Tando Zoki at number 9, we'll look to get him into the game early. Apalele Fassi at fly half as our captain. Our centres incredibly strong. Definitely keen to watch them today as the Dale College first team rugby side run out. Big cheer from the Dale supporters.
Keegan, yes, the Dalians are on, the Queenians are now running on, and you hear the crowds roar. Led on by number 4 lock, Aaron Brody. Couple of big lads in the Queen side too. I think there's 2 of them that are verging on 2 meters tall. So it's going to be interesting, Keegan, to see what's going to happen in lineouts, what's going to happen in set pieces. But as I say, we can expect big scrums, I think, from both sides, and a lot of good lineouts.
Final words there from each captain to their respective teams. Looks like Queens are going to get the ball rolling. Kick off to Dale. As we slowly wait for everybody to find their seats again. The crowd is starting to get excited. The cheerleaders are geeing them up. We set for another Queens Dale epic clash, I think.
The atmosphere is absolutely electric, folks. Queens kicks off. The ball has been won by Queens. Queens is running up with their big flanks here, Dwatu. A little bit of fumbling there, knock on by Queens. It'll be a scrum set down for Dale.
One an electric start there by Queens, winning the ball back off their own kickoff. Going into the contact, unfortunately losing it. And we spoke earlier about the respective forward packs, and right in the first minute we get to see them go head to head in the first scrum. Attacking position for Queens. Dale's going to have to look to put a good hit in here, get the ball out quickly, and hopefully clear their lines well.
Yes, I see that the ref is now asked to reset the scrum. There's obviously a bit of a niggle there. It's going to be interesting, Keegan, as I say, to see what scrum's got the bigger shove here this afternoon. I think this is going to be the battle of the heavyweights.
The ref gives a sign. Big scrum there by Queens. Ball's out though. Taken up into the line. Dale College set the ruck. Ball goes out to Apelele Fassi, and the captain of Dale College clears his lines. Great kick into touch. And again, talking about the forward packs, and we see our first line out.
Keegan, yes, one thing that I must say about Apelele Fassi, he's a brilliant kicker. He kicks Dale, he puts him on the front foot. I saw Craven Week last year too. He played for Border. He's a fantastic thinker on the field, and I think he's going to be a big factor in this game. This is a line out being thrown in by the Queen's hooker, Gareth Hartman. Ball goes up.
Taken by that man, Apelele Fassi again. Dale quick over the ball. Ball swung out. Sipamanda Kwehe at number 12. Again, goes out to Deshaun Mishley, the fullback. Great set of heels on the touchline there. Dale need to look to recycle the ball quickly, but they got it back again.
Great run there by the Dale wing. I see it's been knocked on though. It's a scrum down to Queens. Keegan, I think Queens is going to have to watch. There's a couple of pacey young men in this Dale side. I think if they get given half the chance, they're going to cause a lot of trouble here for Queens.
Fantastic run there on the touchline by Deshaun Mitchley, coming up from fullback to join the line. Dale just unfortunately copping up the ball there in contact. And again, we set for another big scrum. Queens definitely had the dominance in that first scrum. Let's see in the second one what happens.
Dale that is the Queen scrummer for Rania with the ball. It's gone down. Queens is cleaning it out. Gareth Hartman knocks it on.
Dale looking for quick ball. Up with Butle Kaba. Zoki recycling again. Fassi shows a bit of fancy footwork. A little bit high in the contact, and Queens look to hold him up. And they've done just that. Well done to the Queens boys. Fassi getting a bit high in that that contact point, and the Queens showing good upper body strength to hold him up.
Yes, I see this is going to be a scrum down to Queens, and Queens didn't look as potent in the last scrum as they were in the first one. But I think they'll need to settle down a bit, get the props in that back strike, get the scrum really moving. But it looks as though Dale's here this afternoon to play a rugby game, Keegan.
I think both sides are definitely here to play a hell of a good game of rugby. Ref just not happy with things at scrum time, looking to reset. Queens put on a very big shove in that first scrum. I think Dale were a little bit surprised with that, but in the second one maybe a little bit more prepared. It'll be very interesting to see in this third scrum how each team fares.
Yes, let's see now the reset, what's going to happen. Solid scrum by both sides. Ball didn't really... That was a Queen scrum off Orania. That's put the ball out into touch. It's going to be... The ball must have come off one of the Dale guys, Keegan, because I see he's awarding the line out to Queens.
I think Apelele Fassi got a little foot in there. Second line out of the day. Fortunately, the Queens hooker missed his jumper the last time. Let's see if they can get the call right this time.
That was a nice line out taken by Sox Matanda, Queen's 8th man. Ball gets out. Ball sent to the Queen's centre that runs it up. That's Ilano Smith. Puts a ball up. Bit of a test there on the Dale players. The Dale man chips it over. That is a penalty to Dale. It looks as though there was perhaps a not releasing there. I didn't quite see the tackle. But I reckon that Dale will now go for touch. Put them in striking range of the Queen's try line.
Great work there by Deshaun Mitchley at fullback. He identified the way the Queen's attack was going, read that kick very well, and did well to recover his kick afterwards. Sets up an attacking line out for Dale. Makaya Sumklisha feeds the line out. One by Dale, quickly off into the back line. Matsinya at 13 runs it up, but unfortunately Sipaman Letwethe at 12 threw a bit of a forward pass. Great line speed there by the Dale back line. Definitely looks like they're looking to get things going with their pacemen today. Middle of the field scrum for Queens.
Right.
Short arm for Dale. Tandozuki looks to take it quickly. Gives it to Mapangwevu. Strong into the contact. Again, rumbling up with the forwards. Tandozuki takes from the base of the scrum. Out to the captain, Apelele Fassi. Gets over the advantage line. Dale building a bit of pressure here. Tandozuki digging for that ball. Ball goes out into the back line. Great hands by the Dale boys. Enrico Johannes. And that is the first try for Dale College.
And Dale over in the corner. It was a fantastic move there. There was no man marking the Dale player. I think Queens, should have tackled a bit better. I think Keegan at the point when they had the breakdown there. So that's an early start by Dale. And I think Queens is going to have to regroup, and I think they need to maybe get more men out wide.
Great emphasis shown by Dale College there to score that first try in the 5 minutes into the game. First points on the board for Dale. It's always important when you play Queens, as I'm sure it is any college, but especially when you come up to the Queens reunion, to get points on the board early. Queens are known for being a 70-minute rugby team. They play until the last whistle, so it's always good to try and just get the upper hand in the early stages of the contest, and obviously try and bowl from that. It's difficult kick here for Apelele Fassi, right against the touchline. Not a breath of wind here in Queenstown today. Good strike by Apelele Fassi. What a fantastic kick for the captain of Dale College, and he puts it through the uprights.
Yeah, fantastic effort there by Fassi, and as I was saying earlier, he's a great player. And as I say to you, I think the momentum is now on the side of Dale. Queens is going to have to return. They're going to have to try get some points on the board. On the Kearsney Festival week, a couple of games, Queens allowed the score to get a bit of away from them in the opening half, and came back strong in the second. But I think they're going to try to strike back as soon as they can. It's a ruck there by... I see Queens has been blown up for not releasing. And Queens will have to need to watch out, to get these quick guys in the Dale side. They're going to have to try and limit all their mistakes.
I think limiting the mistakes today from both sides is going to be key to winning this rugby game. Great exit play there by Apelele Fassi. Taking the ball to halfway from that penalty. Dale will look to set their line out through Makaya. Quick line out the last time again. Tandozoki gives it into the back line.
Yes, Queens on some rush defence there. Dale retains the ball. Ball gets put up high. Ball rolls out fantastically for Dale on the Queens flag. This is going to put Queens under more pressure. So Queens is going to have to certainly win this line out.
Apelele Fassi again doing exceptionally well. You spoke about the brain on this young man. Great rugby brain. Identifying the space behind the Queens defence. Putting a clever little chip in. Bounce the ball favouring Dale this time. And they've put Queens line out under pressure on their 5-metre line. Queens are going to have to do exceptionally well to retain possession and get the ball out.
Yes, one doesn't want to be on your own try line at this sort of early stage of the game. And Queens is going to have a good line out here. If they lose this line out, they'll obviously be under a lot of pressure. But Queens has taken the ball. And they're now mauling it up. Queens has had a very strong maul so far this year. There goes Gareth Hartman, the Queens hooker. Strong runner with the ball. Strong lad. He's gone down. A ruck is formed. Queens gets the ball out. Keith Krautz gets the ball into touch.
Very well absorbed there by Queens, that pressure. First and foremost, they won their line-out ball, set up the maul, which clearly that is one of their strengths, and letting the big men take it up, and then good exit play there. Dale now with the line-out just outside the Queens 22. I think again looking for quick ball, get it to their back line and giving them a chance to attack that Queens line. A little bit messy that time coming down.
A little bit messy. The Queens loose forwards coming through. The big Sia Dwatu. Dale has won the ball though. The back line's lying deep. Let's see who's going to get the ball. Dale retains the ball, gets the ball back. Found a gap and off they go. Okay. Obstruction against Queen's College. Penalty's been awarded.
A little bit of an obstruction that time from the Dale in their movement. Enrico Johannes coming in from 14 there. Obviously scoring the first try for Dale College. Live wire on the field. A little nuggety player. Very, very quick feet. And there again showing if you give him a little bit of space and stuff like that, he can hurt you. Queens though with the penalty and put it into touch and look to set up that pack of forwards again.
Keenan, yes. Dale last year and this year I've seen they've become a very unpredictable side. They're very hard to try work out what they're going to do next. But one thing I can say is you give them a slight gap, they're going to be gone. This is now a line out being thrown in by the Queen's hooker, Gareth Hartman. Let's see if they're going to go to the front or the back. Ball went to Aaron Brody. He seemed to be knocked slightly in that scrum, in that line out, sorry.
Queens rumbling it up again with their forwards. Strong in the contact point, setting up that ruck. And the ref decides no advantage and will come back for what looks like a penalty.
Keegan, I think Queens have chosen the scrum there. I think it could have been a penalty, what I picked up, but I think Queens have chosen the scrum. It's probably going to be to try win the scrum and set the back line up. So I think they're in striking range of the Dale 22-meter line. And I think if they can produce a big scrum here and run the ball down the line, the Queens' backs could be dangerous.
Definitely. Out quickly by the Queens scrum off.
Ball goes to Keith Krautz, elusive little player. Knock on by Queens, but it was a forward pass in any case, so the scrum down will go to Dale College.
Great impetus shown there by Queens. It's one of the first times the backlines actually got to have a go with the ball, and even in those early stages they looked exciting, they looked dynamic. Unfortunately their pass going forward and not to hand. Dale able now, if they get a good scrum on, try and clear their lines. Talking about that unpredictability, it'll be interesting to see Dale's exit strategy here, whether they look to kick out of hand or if they have the confidence to try and run it out.
That was a powerful scrum by Queens there. Seemed to collapse going forward. Keegan, yes, the Queens backline hasn't had a hell of a lot of ball this year. But when they have got the ball to the wings, they've seemed dangerous. I just think they need to try, knock on less. There's been a few knock-ons in the games. It's a huge occasion. Obviously, the lads just need to settle down. But they're now coming in for the scrum. Another big scrum from Queen's College there. Dale run the ball up. Balls go back to Farsi. But two Queen's defenders are on him. Queens has been called off sides though.
Unfortunately, a little bit telegraphed there in that move by Dale College, but Queens getting a bit of ego on defence there and rushing up a bit quickly. Dale get a penalty, and Apelele Fasi will look to find touch again. Gives it a good boot and takes it nicely into the Queens half.
Yes, Fasi with a very nice kick there. Clearance kick, it'll be a line out to Dale. And Dale are now in striking range of the Queens 22-meter line. And it's interesting that they've got a short line out. Well taken by the Dale jumper. Dale player decides to come back into forwards, form the ruck. See the Queens lines lying shallow. Good defense by Queens there, committing two tacklers to the ball carrier. Dale running the ball again. Good tackle by the Queens and Jumba.
Massive contact there by the forwards. Apelele Fasi again, identifying the space behind the defence. Tries to put in a cheeky little kick. And again, pushes Queens back onto their 5-meter line. But it looks like the Dale wing was a little bit eager and was in front of Fasi. So it will be a penalty for offsides to Queens.
Yes, that Dale runner was a little bit offsides. It looks like they're going to go back.
Silly little mistake there. That kick from Fasi would have put Queens under massive amounts of pressure. Now turned around. Queens have the opportunity to set up an attacking line out well within the Dale half. And the way the Queens line out's been going, you'd expect them to retain possession and work the advantage.
once again, in striking range of the 22-meter line, and if Queens can get a good line out here, and they can get the ball down the line quickly, I think Queens could be dangerous. It may be interesting to see Queens may decide to maul this one. They've had some fantastic mauls in their last few games, some of them been over 30 meters long.
Dale sacked the jumper quickly. They're talking about that rolling maul. Fortunately, it looks like Dale's collapsed that illegally, and Queens have the advantage on the Dale 22.
It was a Queens lock, Aaron Brody rumbling that ball up. But I think he may come back. Penalty for Queens for collapsing, penalty against Dale for collapsing the ruck.
It'll be very interesting to see what Queens do here. Looks like they're going to press their advantage and again go for the line out that seems to be working for them. Dale under some serious pressure here. They haven't been under pressure like this in the first 16 minutes of this match. It'll be important for them to trust their defense, back each other, for their defenders to take responsibility and man up in this contact.
Line out goes to Aaron Brody, well taken. Queens are going to maul it up. Dale seem to be neutralising that maul quite well, or trying to get it to the touchline.
Incredibly well done there by the Dale defence. The forward pack doing exceptionally well to firstly stop the maul and then hold them up. Defensive scrum here to Dale College. They've got the ball on their 5-meter line, but very, very well done by the young men of the Dale College forward pack to really get stuck in there and stop that Queen's attacking maul. Danger's not over yet. Still very important for them to stick to the basics here, get that ball out quickly, and stick to the exit strategy.
I think you'll expect a big scrum from Queens here. Unfortunate that, for Queens' sake, that it was a scrum down to Dale. It's still a bit of pressure. One never knows what happens. But I think Queens needs to try convert, their advantage where they are on the field at the moment, their territorial advantage into points, if they want to be competitive in this game. So I think you'll expect a big scrum here. Ball will be fed in. Massive scrum by Queen's College. It's a tight head against Dale. And Queens goes over. The Queens number 12 goes over. And the Queen supporters have erupted on the stands. I think just what I said earlier, Queens needed to turn their advantage on the field into points, and that's exactly what they did, Keegan.
Fantastic scrum there by Queens. Winning that tight head, moving the ball out quickly, and getting over the try line. Very well done there by Queens. As you say, turning that pressure into points, always very important. Unfortunately, the Dale defence not stepping up at that time. I think it's very important now for both sides after this kick goes over, to really get stuck in again. It's been a very hard contest. Fought very heavily, as we suspected, in front of this massive crowd among the forward packs. So as we wait for this kick to go over, I think it's very important now from this kickoff for Dale to pick their heads up, get stuck in again. They've still got a lot of game to play, and I think it's very important that they put that pressure back onto Queens.
Yes, that kick was put over by Keith Krautz, the Queens fullback. Keith is normally a flyer for Queens. He picked up a bit of an injury though at the Kearsney Festival. So I think maybe him, moving him out of flyer was a tactical move to keep him away from a lot of contact. But what I've often said about him in the past, he's not a very big guy, but he's got a massive heart, very good ball skills. He's a good cricketer, in fact, to Keegan. That's now Dale with the kickoff.
Bit of miscommunication there between two of the Queens players. Knocking that ball on, Dale recovering it and pushing forward into the Queens 22. Tando Zoki digging for the ball out to Apelele Fasi. taken into the contact. Big contact there by the Queen's defender. Again, recycled. Fussy looking to the boot again. Puts the chip over. Bounce the ball. Favours Dale again. Fantastic little kick there by Apalele Fussy, identifying the space once again and putting a little smart kick in to put Queens back on the back foot on their just outside their 5 metre line.
Keegan, just what I was saying earlier, Apalele Fussy is a fantastic thinker on the field, and he's put all the pressure onto Queens again. It's a Queens line out. It'll be interesting to see where the ball's going to go to. But like I say to you, Fussy really a player in a million. Eh?
Queens looking to win their line out.
Line out won by Aaron Brody. They're now mauling the ball up off their own try line, getting out of the danger. Huge maul by Queen's College at the moment. Massive maul, gone 7, 8, 10, 12 metres at the moment. The maul's still going. They're still rumbling it up. See the maul still going. The maul still going forward. Dal seems to be trying to neutralise it. Ball has come out. Queens doesn't seem to see that the ball was out of that maul. Dal number 11 runs it up.
I think the Queens player might be in a little bit of trouble now. Getting a bit carried away off the ball. Obviously, the emotions are high out there. Guys want to give their all for their schools. A little bit messy there.
Keegan, yes, a very messy little piece of play there. And it's a penalty to Dale. Looks like they're going to take the points. And I can't see Fussy missing this one, to be honest with you.
I think it's a good call from the captain, deciding to take the easy points. I think in a contest like this between two great colleges, you play it like test match rugby. You take your points when you can get them because you don't know when it's going to come around again. Queen's obviously just scoring a 7-pointer, so Apalele Fussy going for the safe play, looking to put the ball over the crossbar. Hopefully we don't jinx him here. But unfortunately there, from a Queen's perspective, one of the players getting a little bit carried away and unfortunately gifting a somewhat easy 3 points to Dale College. Apalele, as we expected, puts it straight through the middle of the uprights and Dale retain the lead.
Queens definitely needs to watch discipline so close on their own try line. You know, these unwanted penalties against you just put you under further pressure. And, as I say, Keegan, I said to you early in the day, before we started commentating, I think this game can go anyway. I've always thought it's going to be a very, very tight game. And I think it's going to actually boil down to things like who's got the best discipline. Ball run up strongly by the Dale prop.
Tando Zoki showing some fancy footwork there. Small little individual, but lightning fast feet. The ball was well taken after that kickoff by Butch Kaba. Under an immense amount of pressure from the Queen's chasers, but did well to bring it in. Dale looked to have coughed it up, unfortunately. Queens have a scrum advantage, and I think they'll look to press that advantage. Bit of a loose pass there from the base of that ruck, and the referee will call them back for that knock-on by Dale, scrum Queens.
Going to be a scrum down by Queens. Yes, a bit of messy play there. I often think these guys could be a little bit over-eager. They don't quite look always where they're passing the ball to. That was a bit of a wild pass by Queens there that could have put them under more pressure. But it's quite interesting to see, the strength of the Queen's scrum this afternoon. Having a tight head against Dale already. And I think maybe, Keegan, the weight of the two packs, the weight of the Queen's pack, they're obviously using it to advantage. Much better scrum by Dale there.
Queens look like they're setting up a set move there. Well defended there by Dale.
Ball comes out, goes to Lano Smith. Lano Smith holds on to it. He couldn't find the pass to Keith Krautz. Ball comes out again. Oranje decides to go on his own, the scrum off. Out comes the ball to Junaid Bijal. Queen's lock. Queen's prop rumbles it up. still rumbling it up. I see there's a few forwards standing in the back line, obviously waiting for the ball to come out. Pod runners, Queens are still rumbling it forward. Very strong pick and drive there by Queens. I see the Queens hooker, Hartman's come to join the mauling there. Hartman takes it up, runs it strongly towards the poles, which is maybe quite a wise thing, keeping away from the line. The Queens still rumbling it up. Try by Queen's College, right next to the poles. I think the try went to Aaron Brody, the Queen's lock, the number 4. Picking and driving seems to have paid off. So the momentum suddenly swings into Queens' favour. And Keegan, as I said earlier, when guys play this sort of rugby, one doesn't really worry who wins the game. It's a fantastic effort by both the teams here. Played in fantastic spirit. We've seen nothing off the ball. We've seen no foul play, barring, the one Queenian that maybe was a bit eager earlier. But the game's been played, in a fantastic spirit. That conversion's over by Keith Kratz. So we are not far from half time. Keegan, I'm not quite certain if it's 30-minute halves, 35-minute halves. At the festivals, it was always 30 minutes. But I can tell you one thing, Queens dare not get into a comfort zone here, because I saw this Dale side at the Kearsney. We come back against some massive scores.
Perfectly weighted tackle there. The Queens player did well to hold onto the ball. Queens look to exit from their 22. Very good kick there. Oh, well taken though by Deshaun Mishi. Some great hands there to keep that ball from fumbling. Queens quickly over the ball though, and they look to have turned it over. Unfortunately, Dale being unable to get to that ruck quick enough, and Queens look to swing the ball wide.
Bit of a bad handling error there by Queens, but they seem to have retained the ball. Queens need to try to limit those handling errors. Because, another one. Another bad handling error. I don't think the ref was quite in the position to see that one. It looked like it was marginal going backwards, but scrum has been awarded to Dale. And you can expect a big scrum down here from Dale, I think, Keegan.
I think a big scrum on the way from both packs. I think Dale looked to set up, get the ball out quickly to their back line. The back line's done well today when they've had ball in hand. Unfortunately, they've been starved slightly for a little bit. Looks like Sipamandla Twege has come in from 12 into the first receiver position. Perhaps a planned move on the way. First and foremost, though, I think Dale need a retained possession. Tando Zoki about to feed the scrum. Queens put a big shove on.
Massive scrum from Queen's College there.
Big shove. Ref, a bit too much movement, so he will look to reset. Apelele Fasi just coming and asking the ref perhaps a few questions. Unfortunately, the Dale pack not doing so well under the pressure and weight of that Queen's pack. I think Tando Zoki again will look to put the ball in quickly and hopefully get it to the back of that scrum, where he'll look to feed the Dale backline as quickly as possible. And silly little mistake there by Tando Zoki. And Queens have the ball and off they go.
Another wayward pass there by Queens. Unfortunately, these youngsters just seem to need to find their man. But as you say, very unfortunate one there for Dale. I think it seems as though Queens is now choosing the scrum. And Keegan, the atmosphere is absolutely electric here. One can actually hardly hear because the crowds are going so crazy. But something which I did expect Queens to work on would be on their scrums. They put in some powerful scrums at the Kearsney week. And they just need to, I think on the Queen side, Keegan, they need to work on their handling, because there's been a couple of wayward passes here, which could be costing them points in the long run, you know.
Always important to hold on to your ball. Much better scrum that time by Dale College, putting the Queens back under pressure this time. The ref unhappy though with the movement, so he'll reset. I think it's fantastic that, you know, both packs are really fronting up. You know, the dominance isn't going to one just yet. Both very eager to get stuck into each other and, you know, making each side work for every possession that they get.
Yes, a very good comeback there by the Dale scrum. The Queen's 8th man picks it up, Matanda, and has placed the ball back. See, there's a number of Queens are rumbling it up again. It seems as though they've decided to use their forwards a lot in this game. Big Queen's prop runs the ball up. Passes the ball back. Hard rucking by Queen's College there. But the Queen's number 4. Taking the ball up, it seems the penalty has gone Queens' way again.
Dale not rolling away that time. Queens get the penalty. It'll be interesting to see. 3 minutes left on the clock, and it looks like Queens are going to again look to press that advantage and put the ball into touch and set up a line out.
Keegan, yes, not a very far kick by Krautz on that occasion, but obviously he's got the ball out, which is good. You know, often these days at schoolboy level, you see boys not actually finding touch, you know, when they try to kick too far. But it'll be interesting again to see if Queens is going to go to the front or the back of the line out. Ball's been thrown in by Hartman, the big Queens prop, the big Queens hooker, sorry. Ball goes to Aaron Brody. Ball knocked on. And I see half-time has been called.
What a fantastic first half of rugby. Nothing less than what we expected. Hard fought in the trenches. 14-10 to Queens at the end of this first half. Each side giving nothing to their opposition. I think it's fantastic to see. It's, as I said, it's nothing less than what we were expecting. You know, both teams giving their all for their fellow teammates, for their school, for their history, for their old boys. I think it's absolutely amazing to see. Here going into halftime, we can hear the atmosphere still building to a crescendo. The Queens boys challenging the Dale boys on the grandstand to a sing-song. Here as we see the images. Halftime here in Queenstown, Eastern Cape, South Africa. Queens reunion 2017. Score currently sits at 14-10 to Queens College, the home side. Dale College are out there on the field having their halftime chat. I'm sure Mr. Coach Grant Griffith and Mr. Barry Ardakis are giving their opinions, trying to get those strategies all tied up. Queens have made their way into the tunnel, where I'm sure Coach Clinton Lust is getting his charges prepared for another grueling 35 minutes of schoolboy college rugby. What an amazing atmosphere. It's very hard to describe how excited everybody is here for the next 35 minutes. Everything's been left out on that field so far by the young men, and I have no doubt that the next 35 minutes are going to be an incredibly close, tight, hard-fought affair with one of these sides coming out at the end on top. Here we hear the young men of Queen's College singing in full voice. The cheerleaders getting them riled up, trying to G them up. What an amazing opportunity it is here today for us to be watching this game. A massive thank you to School Sports Live. I know from all over the world, we have old boys from both of these schools watching this fantastic clash. What an amazing opportunity for everybody that has a passion for schoolboy rugby and for these two schools to have the opportunity to log on to watch two schoolboy sides give it their all for their schools, for one another, for the badge on their chest. What an amazing opportunity we have here today, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, the next 35 minutes will give us some fantastic rugby, hard-fought rugby. And come the end of this, I can guarantee you that everything will be left on the field, and these young men will walk off incredibly proud of the effort that they're putting in here today. There we see the Dale College squad getting to hear the final words from their captain, Apelele Fassi. He's had a magnificent game up to this point. They're going to need another big 35 minutes from him, this Dale side, should they wish to get over the line. I'm sure, as I said earlier, the coach, Mr. Grant Griffiths and Mr. Barry Ardakis, have given them their words of wisdom. And now it's up to the 15 men on the park to give it their all to make sure that they come out at the end of the day.
Keegan, expect one of the best halves in schoolboy rugby, I think, that we'll see this year, coming this off, and I'm absolutely certain Dale's going to come back hard in this half. And I think, as you say, I think the coaches have obviously highlighted what the mistakes are in the first half, and I'm sure that both sides are going to address that now.
Yeah, we see the Queen side running out onto the paddock. I'm sure their coach Clinton Lust, as you say, has given them a few words of wisdom, a few tactical changes perhaps. But at the end of the day, it's got to come down to who wants it more and who takes the opportunities.
That's right. As I say, this Dale side's a very good side, and don't expect them to sit back and give Queens all the running. I think Queens is going to have to go into top gear here to neutralise them, because I've seen them come back from some big scores on tour, and I'm sure that they're going to put in maximum effort now, kicking against Queens.
Looks like Queens has made a substitution during that halftime break. Number 24 running onto the field.
Keegan, I'm not too sure exactly who that player is, but I did see him play on tour. He's a class little player. And let's get ready to rumble now in the second half.
Cheeky little kick there by Apelele Fassi, just going the 10 meters. Advantage to Dale College. And ref blows his whistle. Looks like he's going to have a little chat to one or two of the Queen's players.
Yes, I don't think this ref's going to take any off-the-ball incidents or anything that's going against the rules of the game. And it looks as though Dale's going for poles. But I don't think this is out of Fassi's range. As I say, at the Kearsney Festival, he was awarded a Sharks bursary to go to the Sharks Academy next year, and he was awarded the same one last year, Keegan, and I can understand why they did that. I've got utmost respect for him as a player. And he's been a very good leader of the side, what I've seen in their last few outings.
That's correct. Apulele Fasi did receive one of the coveted Sharks Bershis to the academy, as well as number 13 for Dale College, Sipamandla Matsinya, as we watch Fasi land this kick up. Good strike, definitely got the distance, and he's got the direction. 3 points to Dale College. Another great conversion, penalty kick there by Apulele Fasi, and Dale College right back in this game.
Keegan, I think that ball, if it was probably inside the halfway line, it would have still gone over. He put a good strike on it. And that's what I say, that lad has got a good boot on him. He's a good thinker. And it's now for Queens to kick off onto Dale. And as I say, I think Dale's going to be dangerous now. Ball won by the Queens number 8, Siam Tanda. Ball gets driven up by the Queens captain, Aaron Brody. Made available, taken up by the other lock, Junaid Bijal. Queens are picking and driving, as I thought maybe one of their strategies this afternoon. Ball comes out down the line. Scissors move. Queens still running it up. Queens need numbers there now, Keegan. Seem to have secured the ball. And I think they'll attack the Dale line now with their big forwards. Gareth Hartman, the Queen's hooker, picks it up. As I say, a strong lad, weighs about 115 kilos. Queen's still rumbling it, taking it amongst their forwards. They get the ball back. Still rumbling it. I think that was not releasing, yes. Sorry, not rolling away by the Dale player. And it looks as though Queens are going to try to take the 3 points here. Kick that I expect Crouch to get over, but as you know, anything can happen. I've seen this even happen at international rugby. Something could go wrong with the ball. But I think Queens are looking at points, getting the points ahead, which is sometimes a wise thing, because if a game boils down to a try each way, you need to get out of that sort of 7-point story. If you can get 9 points ahead and the game's getting tight, it obviously helps you in the dying strides of the game, because this game is still going to go. I still say it can go each way. Keith Crouch got that kick over. So Queens goes to 17 points.
With that penalty kick, 17-13 to Queen's College. Each side trading blows in the opening 4 minutes of this game.
Ball gets run down the Queen's line. They give it to Keith Crouch. He's going to probably go for touch.
Looked to show a bit of fancy footwork there. Unfortunately didn't get it out. Dale now, ball in hand, looking to run it up. And a penalty.
It looks like a penalty against the Queen's hooker, perhaps for not using arms, yes. And he's going to be carded. That's going to put Queens under a lot of pressure. But, the rules of the game are the rules of the game.
Player safety, a massive thing nowadays. We see it at the highest level, and it's nice to see that that's filtered down to schoolboy level. Unfortunately, a bit of a silly penalty to give away. So he'll spend 10 minutes in the naughty chair. Looks like Apulele Fasi has called for the kicking tee again, looking to reduce that margin that Queens has against Dale College. A little bit more of a more difficult kick angle-wise. We know that Apulele Fasi has the distance. It'll just be about keeping that rhythm, keeping that tempo, and getting the direction at the end of the day. Both these sides trading blows early. Like a heavyweight boxing match, nobody really getting the ascendancy in the opening stanza.
No, that's right. I think Fasi's strategy has been a good one. That kicks over. Fantastic kick by Farsi from quite far out and at an angle. And I think Farsi's strategy as the captain is, if he feels that the forwards may be having a bit of a tough time against the Queen's forward, then put the points on the board via his boot.
What a fantastic kick there by Apelele Farsi. We keep saying it over and over, it seems, in this game. The young man really putting up his hand and giving a captain's performance. Queen's kicking off. Dale, unfortunately, not being able to control that. Knock on Queen's scrum inside the Dale half. Again, pressure back on Dale. Queens have made a substitution, obviously, due to that yellow card. It looks like they're going to have to bring on number 17 into that hooker position.
Yes, this seems to be increasingly becoming a ding-dong battle. Dale is keeping in touch all the time, which is very dangerous for Queens because, as I say, I've seen that they're a side that can come back against a massive deficit. So you can expect a strong scrum here from Queens, I think. But it looks as though Dale's strategy is to just keep in striking range. Try and a conversion from them can get them the lead again.
So important to take your opportunities here today. Both of these sides not giving an inch to each other, so when you do get an opportunity, when you do get a sniff, it's so important for you to capitalize on that. Ball fed into the scrum. Big scrum there by Dale. Ref again not happy. Not steady. Looks like he's going to reset it.
Yes, Keegan, it looks as though the scrum's wheeling a little bit. One can't quite see if it's... I wouldn't think it would be Queens wheeling it, being their scrum. But the ref will probably see what happens in this next one. And one can almost see, with not having the weight of Hartman there, scrums don't seem as solid as they were.
Clever little chip behind the defence, little grubber kick by one of the Queen's players, well covered there by Deshaun Mitchell, the fullback for Dale. Well backed up though by the kicker and bundled into touch. Queen's College will get the line out just inside the Dale 22. Great position for them. Let's hope that Dale College can contest this line out, look to set up their defensive structures, and it'll be interesting to see what Queens does here. Do they go back to that rolling maul, which they've used so successfully today, or do they give it to their backline and see what they can do against this Dale defence?
I would expect, Keegan, that they're going to probably use their forwards again. They've been quite effective with that picking and driving. If they can get that rolling maul going, it could be quite devastating. I saw them at the Graham Day fixture maul the ball 30 metres, which was quite unbelievable against quite a big Framesby pack. But it looks as though Dale has neutralised that maul, but the Queen's maul seems to be getting some momentum now. But I suspect...
Ref's called use it now.
It's called use it. The maul seems to be getting strong momentum. I couldn't quite see, Keegan, what happened there.
I think a bit of truck and trailer.
Yes.
The refs called them back, though, to the 22. Short arm penalty. I don't quite know what that was for, but Queens have opted for the scrum again, backing their forwards to do the job. Time for the Dale pack again to front up like they have up until this point. Queens in attacking position again on the 22.
I think you can expect a strong scrum here from Dale. Their scrums seem to have become better and better as the game has gone on. Ball comes out to the Queens line. Another wayward pass by Queens and another knock-on, which I don't think is going to do Queens many favours, because in a tight game like this, I think you need to honestly watch your hands and you need to use the possession that you've got. Keegan, you mentioned the Dale fullback, Mitchley. He's impressed me today. Nippy little player, and I think can be very dangerous. I think if him and Fassi link up, can be red danger signs for Queens.
Yes, Deshaun Mitchley at fullback today. Him and Apelele Fassi have made positional changes for this clash. Seems to be working out today. Tando Zoki out from the scrum into the centre field. Little plan moved. Apelele, there's that man. Good pass down the wing, showing a bit of gas. Gets away from one, and just a little bit of a foot into touch. Dangerous signs there for Queens. Dale getting a bit of space after that scrum, making their way, I'd say, about 50 metres down the field.
Keegan, yes, I think that was a bit of get out of jail free card for Queens there, because if that lad had not gone into touch, I think it could have been quite dangerous. He did the right move there by putting the ball in the ground. It was 2 Queenians against him, and it just shows that those lads are thinking. And we're now going to see a line out for Queens.
4-man line out for Queens.
The ball gets taken by the Queens lock, Aaron Brody. And they're trying to get that maul going again. Brody gets the ball and runs it up strongly. Ball comes out for Queens. Junaid Bijal, the Queens number 5 lock, runs it up. Running it up again. The big props have got it.
Penalty advantage here for Queens for a high shot.
Queens have got that ball out. Queens forwards rumble it up again. Queens still rumbling the ball up. Queens are picking and driving it forward. I think the Lions waiting in anticipation to get that ball, but it looks as though the strategy today is to pick and drive and to use those big forwards. Looks as though the ref's coming back for something, Keegan. I'm not too sure what it was for.
A bit of a hard tackle there by Apelele Fassi. No advantage to Queens, so they'll come back to just inside the 22 for the penalty. Great attacking play there by Queens College, showing him immense strength within the forward pack, going back to what they seem to be good at today, that pick and drive with the big boys. Looks like Queens are looking to be more attacking here, turning down the 3 points, going back to that line out that they've used so effectively today. Dale under pressure once again, well inside their 22, attacking line out for Queens.
Keegan, I agree. Queens in a very strong position on the field at the moment. They just need to watch their handling. But I say again, don't write Dale off from maybe getting a turnover ball and running the ball from their own try line.
Ball fed in Aaron Brody again, the recipient.
Aaron Brody taken out of the air by the Dale players. The penalty to Queens. The Queens 8th man runs it up, Siam Tanda. Still picking and driving hard for the line. Aaron Brody takes it forward. Queens retains the ball, picks and drives, still putting the Dale forwards under massive pressure there. Hartman takes the ball up. Driven forward. Ball comes available for Queens. It looks, Keegan, to me, is that they're going to pick and drive all day here.
They have up until this point, and try time for Queens.
You know, Keegan, over the last few games, I sometimes wondered to myself, because I've seen most of the Queens games, is that why haven't they adopted this sort of a strategy all along? You know, having a very heavy pack of forwards, physical forwards. Some of the sides they played were lighter forward packs. And it just shows that they've been very effective here this afternoon using their forwards.
The Queens number 8 scoring that try. Again, Queens going back to the basics, going back to what they seem to be good at, using that forward pack. War of attrition, it seems like today, rumbling it up. Dale giving their utmost to try and stem that attack as much as possible, but at the end they ran out of defense, ran out of numbers, and Queens over in the corner. Difficult kick here for Queens to add the extra 2 points.
Keegan, this is in Keith Krautz's range. It's a bit of a difficult angle though. You know, it was always difficult kicking off the touchline. Seemed to have struck the ball nicely. but it is not over. But Keegan, I've said this all afternoon, and the listeners will probably be tired of me saying this, but don't write Dale off, because they're going to fight until the bitter end. And there's still a lot of time in this game. And I say again, this game can go either way. I think it's going to be the side now that knuckles down the hardest. And I don't think Queens is going to probably get into sort of a defensive mode. Ball gets taken by CM Tanda, the Queen's 8th man there. Ruck is formed. I see the Queen's players waiting for the ball. A few forwards in the midfield. Ball comes out. Krauts kicks the ball into touch.
Another penalty to Queens. I think this will begin to frustrate the Dale coaching staff. Unfortunately, Dale being sucked into a little bit of ill discipline now, a number of penalties going against them. Unfortunately, in these type of games, your discipline has to be on point. You have to be so careful with what you're doing on and off the field. And unfortunately, discipline letting the Dale side down. Queens were under pressure there and giving them an easy exit.
Keegan, yes, often when you start trailing in terms of the score, you get too eager. You're trying to get the deficit. You're trying to, shorten the deficit. And it's just about discipline. It's about trying to keep your discipline and to play structured rugby.
Ball
Queens
taken
is
in
run
there.
up by Brian Bless, the Queen's flank. Not a very big lad, but very good on his feet.
Another
Queens runs
penalty
the ball
against
up.
Dale College. Queens now with an opportunity to let that ball go through their back line, taken into the contact. Dale give away another penalty, looks for offsides this time. Queens rumble over, and the ref, no advantage to Queens. They'll come back. Looks like offside at ruck time again. And once again, as you said, getting a bit eager there are the Dale defenders. Maybe looking to chase the game a little bit and giving away a soft penalty. I think it's important at this junction. I'm sure that the senior players, Apelele as captain, and the coaching staff will look to, try and calm things down. There's still a lot of game to be played, and I think it's important that Dale and Queens both keep a cool head and keep sticking to those basics that's, kept them so well for the first half and through into the second half.
That's right. Keegan, I see, just to mention a few words about the Queen's fly-off. Ilano Smith is not really a fly-off. He's playing there because of the injury that we suffered to Keith Krauts.
Just
there
a
goes
great
Apelele Fassi.
run by Apelele Fassi. Given to Matt Matsinya. He's off. And he won't be caught.
Goes
That is
right
a
through.
fantastic try.
Right through. Queens coming from an attacking position is now finding the pressure on themselves. That was a brilliant move again by Fassi, and offloaded to Matsinya, who I don't think anyone was going to catch in a hurry, considering that he had the momentum behind him.
What a fantastic try there by Dale College against the run of play. Queens overthrowing their attacking line out. Fassi pouncing on it, getting past a couple of defenders, and a great turn of pace there by Matt Matsinya to catch up to him. Great offload by Fassi, and as you said, it was going to be difficult for any Queens defender to catch up to that Burley centre as he made his way down the field. 80-metre try there for Dale, and as you've been saying, never write any team off, because as quickly as that, Dale have a kick to take the lead.
That's exactly what I was saying, Keegan. Don't write Dale off. They come back at you hard. Probably not a mistake Queens wanted to make at that point in the game, considering that the lineouts have been so good up to now. But it's those little mistakes that cost you points at the end of the day. And I don't think Fassi just pushes it slightly left, which keeps Queens in the lead by 1 point. So as I was saying, this is going to be a humdinger of a game still. There's still lots of rugby to be played in this game. And you can expect both these sides to come at each other with absolutely everything at the moment.
It's amazing how quickly a game of rugby can change there. Queens kick off again. I don't know if this ball's gone the 10 meters. Knocked on
That's
there though.
Gareth Hartman, the Queen's hooker with the ball. Queen's rumbling it up, formed a ruck. Queen's rumbling up with their big forwards. Hartman takes it up again, powering forward. The Queen's cleaners, the Queen's line is waiting for it. Yes, Queen's got that. No, it looks as though the ball's out.
Yeah.
It looks as though it was out into touch. It's
Fantastic cover defense there by Apelele Fassi.
fantastic by Fassi. Once again, fantastic player. Guy went into touch. This is going to be Dale's line out. And a big disappointment for Queens and the fans. So Queens is going to have to try to contest this line out, I think, Keegan.
I think they will pressure on Dale College again. Great defense there by Apelele Fassi. Soyama Mini, the number 11. Dale have won the line out. Put a little chip kick in. And, oh, it looks like it may have come off a Queens player. The Dale get the line out again. But they've taken it quickly. Looks like they've looked to hoof it down the field. And turns into a very good kick there by Apelele Fassi. Bounce of the ball favouring the Dale College captain. And we've taken play well into the Queen's half. Unfortunately for Queens there, Dale taking the quick line out, catching them napping slightly. And a great relieving kick there by the Dale captain to get them out of a bit of trouble. Queens did exceptionally well there, really putting pressure onto Dale College that it could have been so easily a try in the corner. The game would have changed again. Yeah, Queens need to win their line out, get back to the basics and get going again.
Ball thrown in by the Queen's hooker. Hartman taken by the Queen's flank. I think Queen's going to try get that maul going. The maul doesn't seem to be moving forward. Ball comes out down the line. Junaid Bijal, the Queen's number 5, lock with the ball. Vigorous rucking there by Queens.
The Dale defensive line holds.
Lano Smith, the Queen's fly for the ball. Another fatal mistake there by Queen's College. Bad pass from having the momentum to having a scrum against you. I think Queens will be disappointed by their handling in this stage of the game.
Real opportunity here for Dale College. Scrum centre of the field between the 10 metre and the 22. Great field position. So important here for Dale College to get a good hit on, get that ball out and stick to their basics. Real opportunity here for the Dale. Great
Another
scrum though by the
Queens.
boys. Seems like the ref wasn't happy again with the movement and he's going to reset. I haven't seen too many scrum penalties today. Seems to be, especially in those first scrums, a lot of movement. Queen's obviously putting the shove on here.
Putting it on, I think they're going to obviously go for a very big scrum here again. But, to come back to the handling areas by Queens, I think it's costing them. There's an unlucky into touch on the corner flag there earlier. But Queens, honestly, being the reunion game, they need to try watch that handling. And if they don't, it's going to cost them, Keegan.
Ball
the
out.
Queen's 8th man with the ball.
Apelele Fassi takes it to the line. Queen's defense holds strong for now. Again, setting up that ruck. Digging for the ball. Passed out again. Bit of a floated pass out wide. Queen's quickly over the ball, but unfortunately missing it. Again, Sipamandla. Quick pass into the contact. Good strong defense by Queens. Dale looked to retain the ball. Dale scrum off. Digging for that ball. Slowed down by Queens. Again, he gets it out. Sipamandla again at first receiver. Apelele Fassi looks to be playing in the centres now. Gets over the advantage line. Strong leg drive there by Fassi. penalty now to Dale College, not releasing, looks like the Queen's players. Massive contact there by Queens.
There's a
Getting
Queen's
up
lock
in that
that
line.
came in.
Looks like he's hurt himself a little bit, unfortunately.
Yes, I think could have been a bit of a clash with his head onto the Dale's knees.
Queen's defenders holding nothing back here today. Apulele Fassi looking to calm things down. Going to take the points. Unfortunately, our Queen's player looks to be getting up on his feet, which is always a good sign. Nice to see. Looking a little bit groggy, so I think he's going to come off the field. Unfortunately, that looks like his day is done today, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I don't think, walking in that sort of motion, I don't think he's going to come on again. There's probably a concussion there. And as I say, I think that could have been a head clash with a hip or the knee or something like that. So I think that'll be his game done. It's a Queen's captain, Aaron Brody.
What an amazing game he's had today.
Yeah,
really led the Queen's boys well. Led from the front. Been
had a
fantastic
very hard
at line
game.
out time. Apulele Fassi now looking to slot this one over and put Dale in front by 2 points. What a fantastic kick there by
Fassi
Apulele
gets that
Fassi.
ball over.
With that penalty kick by Apulele Fassi, we take the score. Dale in the lead, 24-22. 27 minutes gone in this game. It's all to play for in the final minutes of this enthralling, epic encounter between two massive colleges within South Africa.
Keegan, that's what I say. I said to you at the start of the game, this game's going to go down to the wire. It can go each way. One almost gets the impression that the side that scores and converts next is going to be in a very strong position.
Ball goes out to Fassi. Fassi puts it downfield. Well taken there by the Queen's fullback. Looks to swing it out wide. Good hands by Queens.
Good hands by Queen's, offload there to Njumba.
Massive
Queen's
hit there by
fullback.
the Dale number 8. Queen's retaining possession well though.
Queens is going to get the ball out to the line now. It seems they're still running the ball up with their forwards.
Referee's arm goes out. There'll be a penalty to Queens. High shot. It'll be a difficult position here for the Queen's players. What do they do in this situation? It's not the easiest of kicks.
Keegan, I think, with their main line-out jumper out, it's going to be difficult. I saw when he didn't play in the Kearsney game at the festival, the line-outs didn't quite go as strongly as they should have. But that ball hasn't found touch in any case, which I think is a bit of a mistake by Queen's College.
Big error there from Queens.
Very
Relieving
much
the pressure
so.
completely.
It's almost a carbon copy replay of what happened at the Graham Day when they missed an important touch kick against Framesby, and that cost them the game, I think, at the end of the day.
And just like that, Dale College have the ball back. Again, though, the pressure's on them, though. They have to win the scrum. I'm sure Queens will definitely put the shove on them like they have throughout the game.
Yes, there's not a lot of time left, Keegan. It's been a very entertaining game. Queens has put in a big shove there. But, just looking in retrospect, I think Queens has made some big mistakes at crucial points in this game. Playing against a side like Dale, you just can't afford, to do that. This is not a second-rate side that we're playing against Queens this afternoon. It's a very, very good Dale side. And I think any mistakes have, the amount of mistakes that Queens have actually made have cost them in the long run. Another big shove by Queens, but the scrum seems to have wheeled.
Dale seem to have retained possession though. They get over that ball quickly. Ball comes out. Apulele Fassi again takes it to the line. Fantastic defence though by the Queens boys. Fussy a bit high in that contact. Dale again look to recycle the ball. They get the ball back, goes short side this time. Puts the ball on the boot. Clever little kick now. It's going to be interesting to see. Queens fullback does well to get back. Well done though by Dale rushing up in defence. Queens under enormous amounts of pressure now. Good box kick from the base of that ruck. Apelele Fussy well positioned. And here come Dale back into the game.
Ball is
Clever
not
little
out.
cross
It
kick.
seems that Queens is in trouble there. I think Queens was quite fortunate to have a knock on there.
I don't know what that was all about, maybe.
I just think Keegan is a bit of argy-bargy. You know, it's been a very tight game. Nothing serious, I don't think. Dale called offsides earlier. And I wonder what Queens is going to do with this. There's really not much time left. There's probably only 2.5 minutes left. And it's now up to Queens to see if they really want this one, Keegan.
I definitely think that's what it's going to come down to, the side. I think both sides are giving it their all today. Both camps are tired. They've put everything into this game. It's about finding that extra little bit in the tank to take it the 35 minutes.
Keegan, it's now the very, very hard yards of rugby, those final dying minutes with such a close score. So I think they're still going to be coming hard. Dale are going to be coming hard. Queens are seriously wanting their victory on the reunion. So I think Queens just also needs to consider the time factor. But it looks as though they're adopting the pick and drive strategy again.
It's worked so well for them throughout this game. This time they swing it out wide. Silly handling error again.
Silly handling error again, Keegan. You know, it just seems to be the curse of the Queen side this afternoon. You know, not very good passing. You know, and I saw this quite a lot too on tour. You know, open try line and knock-ons with quite decent passes into their hands. So, you know, this is going to cost Queens, I think.
Big line out now in the context of the game. Queens again going to put on, I'm sure, a big shove on Dale College. It's so important that Dale take the hit, get that ball out quickly. Looks like, short arm to Dale College. Be interesting to see what they do here. Clock's winding down. Captain Apelele Fussy, as he's done the whole day today, marshaled the troops really, really well. Takes the tap and go, and looks like Dale are going to run it up.
Yes, Dale run that ball up. Quite clever, got themselves 5 or 6 yards there.
And Queens win the penalty. Quickly over the ball there. Unfortunately, the Dale cleaners weren't there quick enough. Queens player showing incredible upper body strength, getting over that ball, holding on. And Queens, again, with an opportunity to put pressure back on Dale in the dying minutes of this game.
Keegan, this is going to be a very crucial. I don't quite know. Maybe I'm totally wrong that this is in Keith Krautz's range. You know, I don't like saying a boy's not in his range, but if he gets this over, this will be one of the longest kicks that I've seen him put over. But as I say, a very talented ball player. So, you know, maybe Queens have just thrown all the eggs into one basket and thought, well, we're in the dying minutes. You know, we're in the dying... I don't think there's even longer than a minute left. So this is the sort of strategy they're going for. And, you know, maybe if their main jumper wasn't off injured, they'd have gone for the touchline and tried a more movement. But this is a very long kick for Keith Krautz.
Silence in the stadium as everyone prepares for this kick. As you say, a very long kick. Quick 2 steps.
Well, Keegan, you know, you eat your words every time in rugby, and honestly, that's a fantastic kick from him. And it looks as though the game is over.
And that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic game of rugby in the dying seconds. 45-meter kick to win it. Lots of pressure on the young man. He stepped up and he made it happen.
You know, the day that young Keith Krautz, excuse me, I've got a bloody frog in my throat, but the day that Keith Krautz needed to put the big kick over, he did it.
Queens fans storming the field. Old boys storming the field. What an amazing atmosphere here. What an amazing game of rugby. What an advert for border college rugby. You know what? So much emotion.
Absolutely
and to win it
fantastic.
like that at the end.
Absolutely fantastic effort from both sides, and like I said, that game could have gone each way.
As we said right at the beginning, it would be decided in moments, and right there, in that moment, when the big kick was needed, the young man put it through. But credit to both sides. What an amazing advert that we have had today for schoolboy rugby. Both sides holding their heads up high. Both sides can walk off this field incredibly proud of the effort that they put in. The coaching staff can be really, really proud of the young men that have been on that field today.
Incredibly proud, and like I say, either of these sides, I don't think would have minded losing on a day like this, because it's been a fantastic game. It's been massive effort, and like I say, hats off to Dale, fantastic side, and quite a comeback from Queens after losing 3 games at the Kearsney Festival. I always thought they'd come back hard today, and you know, as I said earlier, on the reunion day, it's always a huge one. But as I say, hats off to the lads, and let's have many more years between Queens and Dale.
You know what, we always talk about the special bond there is between Dale and Queens, the epic encounters that these two schools have had over the 100 odd years that we've been playing each other, and today's no different.
Fantastic, Keegan, and thanks a lot for commentating with me this afternoon. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all of those from around the world within South Africa, old boys of both schools, friends and family of both schools. We really do appreciate you listening, and we hope you enjoyed a wonderful game of rugby, and safe travels to the Dale boys that are making their way back to King Williamstown. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.